We often hear that humanity has explored less than 5% of the world's oceans. Say that again, quietly. Less than 5%. Beneath the familiar surface lies a geography of shadowed mountains and quiet plains, valleys cut so deep that light itself never visits. Rivers of sand move at a pace we cannot see. Creatures that never know daylight carry on lives of slow ceremony in total darkness. Whole ecosystems operate in the hush below the waves, and many of them we touch only with instruments and distant echoes. If our closest neighbor, our own planet, keeps so many secrets below the surface we walk on, it invites a simple and humbling question. What of the sky above? When you step outside after dusk and lift your eyes, there the lights are. Bright, steady, comforting. We call them stars. We name their patterns. We give them stories. But that bright tapestry is only the part that reveals itself to light the way. It is a visible skin of a larger reality, and most of the fabric beneath remains dark to our eyes. Astronomers have come to the same kind of quiet astonishment. The matter we can see with instruments and lenses, the protons and electrons that make planets and people and air, counts for only a small fraction of the whole. The rest is not luminous. It does not scatter or reflect light in ways we can capture on film or on a detector. Scientists give two of those large, unseen influences names: dark matter and dark energy. Those names are useful shorthand, but they are not explanations. They point instead to the fact of the unknown, things that shape the motion of galaxies and the growth of space itself, yet remain beyond direct sight. Imagine walking along the edge of the ocean and seeing only the churning surface. You watch the waves and the foam, you mark tides, you follow currents by driftwood and by instinct. From that vantage, you might conclude you know the ocean well, but then you descend into the cold and you discover whole ranges of geology and biology that change the way you think about the sea. The stars are like that surface. From the shore of sight, we infer and measure, and slowly, patiently, we learn more about the depths. We learn by listening to hints. We watch how galaxies spin and notice the outer stars move as if tugged by unseen hands. We measure the faint glow left from the beginnings of everything we know and read, in it patterns that whisper of earlier times. We trace how light bends around invisible concentrations of mass. Each subtle signal is a breadcrumb, and together they build the sense that there is an invisible architecture holding the cosmos in its form. There is also a quiet surprise. Space itself is not merely an empty stage, it changes. Observations show that the distances between galaxies are not simply increasing at a steady pace, but that the expansion is accelerating. Space is stretching, and something, whatever it is that we call dark energy for now, is doing the stretching. The metaphor of a balloon helps. If the dots on the balloon are galaxies, the space between them grows, and at some point that growth quickens. We have given this unknown a name, but the name does not tell us the nature of the force. It simply marks our awareness that something profound is at work. Our senses are particular tools crafted by necessity. Human sight is attuned to a narrow range of light. Our ears are tuned to certain frequencies. The world beyond those ranges does not vanish. It persists, simply unseen by our native organs. Other living beings inhabit lives tuned to different bands of reality. Some hear harmonics we do not. Some perceive fields and flows that pass through us unnoticed. Technology becomes our bridge. We build instruments that extend our senses, radio dishes to catch long, slow waves, infrared cameras to see warmth, and detectors placed in deep, quiet places to feel passing particles that otherwise slip through us like ghosts. Each new instrument is an extension of an inner curiosity, a desire to know more of what is there. Discovery comes softly and then all at once. Often, the quiet work of measurement yields a persistent anomaly, a motion that does not match prediction, a signal that refuses the simplest explanation. Scientists pursue the oddity. They refine detectors, refine methods, and wait. The atmosphere of these searches is not spectacle, but patient craftsmanship. The harvest of understanding is slow because the universe does not hurry to oblige, yet the small, steady steps accumulate. They draw a map that grew not from assumption but from repeated, careful listening. There is beauty in the hidden. Knowing that most of reality remains unseen gives room for wonder rather than a hollow of fear. The fact of the unknown becomes an invitation. It is an open space in which discovery can arrive like a soft dawn. When we discovered tiny universes under a drop of water, our appreciation for the visible world deepened. When we learned to catch radio waves, our sense of the heavens expanded. Each tool, each patient experiment reveals that the fullness of creation is larger than previous frames allowed. If you imagine the cosmos as a vast ocean, there are currents we cannot feel and organisms we cannot name. There are quiet tectonics of mass and energy that shape the continents of galaxies, and there are slow tides of expansion that rearrange the horizon itself. From our small vantage, we see islands of light, and we know those islands are part of a design whose greater outline remains, for now, a mystery. Yet the pursuit of that outline is itself a human story of learning, hope, and patience. Tonight, as words ease and sounds soften, consider this. The universe offers a kind of companionship in its hiddenness. The unseen 95% is not a threat. It is a companion to the visible. It keeps the known in humble proportion and preserves the possibility of future revelation. We do not need to fill the dark with fear or with unfounded tales. We can allow it to be a quiet room in which patience and study take place. Step by step, measurement by measurement, our view will widen. New instruments will sharpen faint traces into clear shapes. New ideas will place patterns where once there was only haze. But the best posture is a gentle one, curiosity without haste, reverence without arrogance. There is a dignity in recognizing the limits of sight and in pressing on with calm intent. Feel the comfort of that pace as you listen. The seas below your feet and the spaces above your head hold secrets, yes, but they also hold invitation. There is no rush. The work of discovery is communal and generational. Each quiet finding adds to a slow chorus of understanding. And until more of the veil lifts, we can rest in the peace that much remains for wonder. Sleep with that thought. Let the quiet unknown cradle you, a reminder that life sits within a larger mystery that is still becoming known. Tomorrow, as eyes open, there will be new instruments, new measurements, and perhaps small, brave answers. For now, the unseen is patient, and so may we be. When most people look at the night sky, they see darkness. A great, endless, empty blackness, with just a few points of light scattered here and there. It feels quiet, still, almost lonely, but the truth is far stranger and far more beautiful. The night sky is not empty at all. What we call empty space is overflowing with activity. It is alive in ways that our eyes cannot see and our minds can barely comprehend. Physicists have a name for this, the quantum vacuum. At first, that name sounds like nothingness, a perfect void. But in reality, it is the most restless place imaginable. If you could zoom in to the smallest possible scale, you would see particles flicker into existence for the briefest instant before disappearing again. You would see energy surging and collapsing, like a storm that never ends. What we think of as nothing is in fact seething with potential. And here's the really incredible part. Most of the energy in the universe is not in the stars, or planets, or galaxies. It's in this invisible sea, this endless ocean of hidden power that fills every inch of space. Everything we see, all the galaxies, all the starlight, all of human history, is just a faint ripple on the surface of this deep and mysterious ocean. We are like fish living just below the surface of the water, never realizing how deep the ocean goes, or what might exist far below. This realization forces us to ask questions that are almost too big to hold in our minds. If the universe is full of this invisible energy, what does that say about the nature of reality? Are we seeing only a shadow, just a thin slice of what truly exists? And if that is true, what else might be out there, hidden from view, just beyond the reach of our senses? The more we learn about the cosmos, the more it feels like reality is far stranger than it appears. We once thought that space was a simple void, an empty stage where the drama of the stars played out. Now we know it is a living, dynamic, interconnected web. Gravity reaches across billions of light years, binding galaxies together like pearls on an invisible thread. Even light itself can bend and twist under the weight of massive objects, revealing to us that space and time are not rigid, but flexible, almost like fabric. And here is another question. Why is the universe like this? Why are the laws of nature tuned so perfectly to allow stars to form, planets to exist, and life to emerge? If the numbers that describe physics, the strength of gravity, the charge of the electron, the speed of light, were just slightly different, stars would never have ignited. The universe would have collapsed into darkness or expanded too fast for matter to form. Life, as we know it, would have been impossible. Scientists call this the fine-tuning problem. It's as though someone set all the cosmic dials with unimaginable precision. Some believe this is evidence that we are not here by chance, that there is a purpose to this universe, a reason we are here to witness it. Others suggest there could be countless universes with different laws, and we just happen to live in the one where life is possible. But even if that's true, it still feels like a miracle that we are here at all, and so we keep searching. We build bigger and better telescopes, hoping to catch the faintest whispers of the early universe. We launch satellites to measure invisible radiation left over from the dawn of time. We send machines to the outer edges of our solar system just to hear what the universe sounds like in the deep, cold dark. And with every discovery, our perspective changes. We realize that our planet is not the center of the story. It is just one world among countless others. Our star is not unique. It is one of hundreds of billions in our galaxy alone. And our galaxy is just one of trillions. And yet, despite this immensity, we find that we are capable of something extraordinary. We can understand it. We can look at the sky, collect its light, and work out what happened billions of years ago. We can measure the age of stars, the speed of galaxies, even the shape of the universe itself. We can turn the faintest signals into knowledge. This is a kind of miracle in itself. The universe is not only comprehensible, it is telling us a story, and somehow we are able to listen. Every night sky is like a page in that story, and we are learning to read it, one discovery at a time. And maybe that is the point. Maybe we were created not just to survive, but to seek. Not just to live, but to wonder. To keep asking the biggest questions, even when we know we might never have all the answers, because there is something powerful about standing under a sky full of stars and realizing how small we are, and yet how connected we are to everything. We are made of the same elements that light up the stars, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs. All of it was forged in ancient stars that lived and died billions of years ago. The universe is not just around us. It is within us. And so, as you sit here tonight, listening to this, let yourself imagine that the darkness above is not empty. It is full of hidden worlds, of invisible forces, of mysteries we have only begun to uncover. Let yourself feel that quiet wonder, the sense that you are part of something vast, ancient, and deeply meaningful. And then, take a deep breath. Because there is so much more to discover. This is not the end of the story. This is only the beginning. When most of us imagine the universe, we picture what we can see. Stars glittering in the night sky, planets circling their suns, spirals of glowing gas stretched across the blackness. It feels vast, endless, and complete. But in truth, everything visible, every shining star, every galaxy, every nebula, makes up only a small fraction of what truly exists. Astronomers discovered this by accident, by noticing that the universe wasn't behaving the way it should. In the 1930s, Swiss astronomer Fritz Zwicky studied the Coma cluster, hundreds of galaxies bound together by gravity. What he found was unsettling. The galaxies were moving far too quickly. By the rules of Newton and Einstein, the cluster should have flown apart long ago, and yet it remained intact. It was as though something invisible, something massive, was holding it all together. Decades later, astronomer Vera Rubin made the same discovery on a galactic scale. When she measured how stars rotate around the centers of their galaxies, she saw the same impossible pattern. The stars on the edges were moving just as fast as those near the center. According to the laws of physics, those outer stars should have been flung into the void, but they weren't. Something unseen was binding them. This hidden substance came to be called dark matter. The name is misleading. It isn't simply dark, as if hidden in the shadows. It is invisible, untouchable, a kind of matter that does not interact with light at all. It does not glow. It does not absorb. It does not reflect. It passes through stars, through planets, even through us, without a sound. And yet, its gravity sculpts the entire cosmos. Think of it as the universe's invisible skeleton. Without it, galaxies could never have formed. Stars would never have gathered. Planets would never have coalesced. Life would never have had a stage on which to arise. Everything we know is built upon this unseen foundation. And yet, we still don't know what it is. Physicists suspect it may be some new kind of particle, one that lies beyond the boundaries of known physics. Perhaps it is something like the WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, that theorists have imagined. Or perhaps it is something stranger still, something so far outside our current knowledge that we don't even have the right language for it yet. Experiments buried deep underground, shielded from cosmic rays, are waiting in silence, hoping for the faintest signal of a passing dark matter particle. Space telescopes watch for indirect clues in the way galaxies move and light bends. So far, dark matter has refused to reveal itself, but we know it must be there. We can see its fingerprints everywhere, in the swirling arms of galaxies, in the gravitational lensing that bends light from distant quasars, in the faint echo of the early universe itself. Add up all the numbers, and the conclusion is staggering. Ordinary matter, the stuff that makes you, me, the Earth, the Sun, every planet and every star, is less than 5% of the universe. Dark matter alone makes up about a quarter. It is a ghostly ocean surrounding us, flowing through us, anchoring the cosmos in place. The galaxies we see are just lanterns, floating in this vast invisible sea. And yet, as strange as dark matter is, it is not the biggest mystery, because even more dominant than dark matter is something stranger still, something that doesn't pull the universe together, but tears it apart. The force that pushes everything away. Dark energy. For centuries, astronomers assumed that the expansion of the universe must be slowing down. After all, gravity pulls things together. Galaxies attract one another, stars tug on stars, clusters pull clusters into vast cosmic webs. It seemed obvious that the universe, having exploded outward in the Big Bang, would gradually decelerate, perhaps even collapse back in a fiery reversal. But in the late 1990s, two teams of scientists studied distant supernovae, exploding stars that shine like cosmic lighthouses across billions of light years. What they discovered shocked the world. The universe was not slowing down. It was speeding up. Some unknown force was driving galaxies apart, faster and faster, as if space itself was stretching at an accelerating rate. That force was named dark energy. Unlike dark matter, which pulls galaxies together, dark energy pushes them apart. It is not confined to certain regions, but seems to permeate every cubic centimeter of space. It is not just powerful, it dominates the universe. According to the latest measurements, dark energy makes up about 70% of everything. Think about that. Most of the cosmos is made of something we cannot see, cannot touch, cannot measure directly. We do not know what it is, only what it does. It drives the expansion of the universe itself. And if that expansion continues, the future of the universe could take paths that defy imagination. One possibility is the Big Freeze. Galaxies drifting farther and farther apart until the night sky grows dark, stars burn out, and only cold emptiness remains. Another is the Big Rip, a scenario where dark energy grows stronger with time, tearing galaxies apart, then stars, then planets, until even atoms themselves are pulled to pieces. Or perhaps dark energy will one day change, switch off, or reverse, leading to a collapse known as the Big Crunch. We do not yet know which fate awaits us, but we know this. Dark energy is the engine driving the universe's story forward. It is the reason distant galaxies are racing away faster than light can carry their images to us. It is the silent, invisible hand shaping the destiny of everything. And together, dark matter and dark energy account for about 95% of reality. What we call the universe, all the stars, all the galaxies, all the light we have ever seen, is just a thin film on the surface of a vast and hidden ocean. 3. Seeing the unseen. The limits of human perception. This realization raises a humbling question. If 95% of the universe is invisible to us, how much else are we missing? Our senses evolved for survival on Earth, not for understanding the cosmos. Our eyes detect only a narrow sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum, the rainbow of visible light. But beyond that rainbow lies a vast hidden world. In radio waves, the universe hums with whispers of ancient galaxies. In infrared, it glows with the heat of newborn stars wrapped in dust. In ultraviolet, it blazes with the fury of hot young suns. In X-rays, it screams with the energy of black holes devouring matter. In gamma rays, it flashes with the most violent explosions known, the deaths of massive stars. To our naked eyes, the night sky looks still and silent. But to the instruments we've built, radio dishes, infrared cameras, X-ray detectors, it is alive with motion and sound. We are deaf to most of the music of the cosmos. And yet, through technology, we have begun to hear it. We have even learned to detect the faint ripples of gravitational waves, tiny tremors in the fabric of space-time itself, caused by collisions of black holes and neutron stars. Einstein predicted them a century ago. Today, we can listen to the universe shudder as massive objects slam together, billions of light years away. Every new window we open reveals something unexpected. We once thought the cosmos was quiet. Now we know it roars with energy in forms we can barely comprehend. And perhaps this is the deeper lesson. What we perceive is not all that exists. We live inside a narrow bubble of sensation, a fragile island of perception. But reality stretches far beyond the shore. The great questions. Meaning in a hidden universe. If most of the universe is invisible, if dark matter and dark energy make up nearly everything, what does that say about us? What does it mean to be conscious beings peering into the dark with fragile eyes trying to understand? Some scientists argue that this is proof of our insignificance. We are tiny, temporary creatures, clinging to a small rock in a vast, indifferent void. We are dust, trying to measure the infinite. But there is another way to see it. Perhaps we are the universe's way of knowing itself. Perhaps consciousness is not an accident, but an inevitable flowering of matter and energy given time. The iron in our blood, the calcium in our bones, the oxygen in our lungs, all were forged in stars that lived and died billions of years ago. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe made aware. This changes how we think about our place in the story. We are not passive observers standing apart from the cosmos. We are participants, threads woven into the same fabric as galaxies and stars. When we look out into the night, we are not looking at something other. We are looking at our own origins, our own substance, our own future. And so we ask questions bigger than ourselves. Why is the universe structured the way it is? Why do the laws of physics seem so perfectly tuned to allow stars to shine and life to emerge? Is it chance, or is there purpose woven into the fabric of existence? Are we one of countless universes, each with different laws, and we simply live in the one where life is possible? Or is there something deeper, something we have not yet begun to grasp? These are questions without final answers, but perhaps the answers are not the point. Perhaps the act of questioning, the act of seeking, is itself the meaning. Because every time we build a new telescope, every time we launch a satellite or listen to the faint tremors of space-time, we expand the circle of what it means to be human. We take another step into the unknown. We peel back another layer of mystery. And maybe, just maybe, this is what it means to live in a universe where 95% is hidden. Not to despair at what we cannot see, but to marvel at what we can discover. Not to fear the darkness, but to embrace it as the canvas on which the story of existence is written. So tonight, when you look up at the stars, remember, the darkness between them is not empty. It is filled with hidden worlds, unseen forces, and mysteries we have only begun to touch. You are part of that mystery. You are made of it. And the story is still unfolding. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. Imagine a place where the laws of nature as we know them break down. A place where gravity grows so strong that not even light can escape. These places exist. We call them black holes. At first, they were only a strange prediction of Einstein's equations, a mathematical curiosity that seemed too bizarre to be real. But now we know they are out there, scattered throughout our galaxy and beyond. Some are the remnants of massive stars that collapsed under their own weight. Others are giants, millions or even billions of times the mass of the sun, anchoring the centers of galaxies. From the outside, a black hole looks simple, an invisible sphere surrounded by a point of no return, the event horizon. Cross that boundary and nothing can come back. Space and time themselves are drawn inward, swallowed by gravity. To us, a black hole is a trap, but to physics, it is a puzzle, perhaps the deepest one of all. Because when we ask what lies at the heart of a black hole, our theories fall apart. General relativity says everything collapses into a single point, a singularity of infinite density. Quantum mechanics insists that information cannot simply vanish. Both cannot be true at once, so black holes sit at the crossroads of physics, daring us to find a deeper truth that unites gravity and quantum reality. And there is something even stranger. Black holes are not completely black. Stephen Hawking showed that they can emit radiation, slowly evaporating over time. This means they are not eternal. They live, they die, they fade away. Even the most extreme objects in the universe are part of the cosmic cycle. What if black holes are not just monsters that consume, but also gateways? What if they hide answers about the very birth of the universe? Some theories suggest that inside every black hole could be a new universe, budding off from ours like a cosmic seed. If that is true, our own universe may have been born the same way, the child of a collapsing star in some parent cosmos we can never see. This idea connects to another mystery. Why did the universe begin the way it did? At the very start, just fractions of a second after the Big Bang, the universe seems to have expanded at a speed faster than light. A brief period called inflation, quantum fluctuations, tiny ripples in the fabric of space, were stretched to cosmic scales, seeding the galaxies we see today. But if inflation happened once, it may have happened countless times, in countless places. Each burst could have created its own universe, with its own laws of physics. This is the idea of the multiverse. In some universes, gravity might be stronger, crushing matter before stars could form. In others, atoms might never hold together, but in at least one, the numbers came out just right and life emerged. We call it our universe, but it may be just one bubble in an endless foam. If that is true, then the question, why is the universe so perfectly tuned for life, may have a simple answer, because if it weren't, we would not be here to ask. Still, the thought is staggering. We are used to thinking of reality as singular, but perhaps it is just one page in an infinite library. And yet, even if there are countless universes, we are still left with the same mystery. Why does anything exist at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? No matter how far we push the question back, it stands like a horizon we cannot cross. Another horizon we cannot escape is time. We live inside its flow, carried forward like leaves in a current. But why does it move only one way? Why does the past feel fixed and the future open? Physics says the laws of nature work equally well in both directions, forward and backward. So why do we only remember yesterday, never tomorrow? The answer may lie in entropy, the tendency of systems to move from order to disorder. At the birth of the universe, entropy was incredibly low, like a deck of cards perfectly arranged. Since then, disorder has been growing, and that growth gives time its arrow. The universe is a story of increasing entropy, a long march from order to chaos. But time is not as rigid as it seems. Einstein showed that it can bend and stretch. Near a black hole, time slows down compared to the outside world. travel close to the speed of light, and a minute for you may be years for someone else. Time is not absolute. It is woven into space, part of the fabric that shapes reality. Could time ever loop back on itself? Could wormholes or exotic physics allow journeys to the past? Most scientists doubt it, but the possibility lingers in equations like a shadow. And even if time travel is impossible, our ability to look back is real. Every time we study the night sky, we are seeing into the past. The light of distant galaxies has traveled for billions of years to reach us. To look at the cosmos is to look through time itself. And what do we find when we look? We find hints that we may not be alone. In the vastness of space, with trillions of planets orbiting trillions of stars, it seems unlikely that life arose only once. Simple organisms may be common. Intelligent life, civilizations capable of thought and technology, may be rare, but perhaps not unique. This leads to one of the great puzzles, the Fermi paradox. If the universe is so full of worlds, where is everyone? Why do we not see evidence of other civilizations? Are they too far away, separated by distances that even light cannot bridge in a lifetime? Have they risen and fallen long before us, leaving no trace? Or are we one of the first pioneers in the universe still young, destined to spread and perhaps become the ancient ones that others will one day wonder about? The silence of the stars is both haunting and hopeful. It reminds us how small we are and how much potential remains unexplored. Perhaps intelligent life is the rarest thing in the cosmos, a fragile spark that must be protected. Or perhaps it is inevitable, a flame that burns wherever conditions allow. Either way, the fact that it has happened at least once, here on Earth, is already a kind of miracle. And here we return to ourselves. We, fragile creatures made of star stuff, are trying to understand the very fabric of existence. We have built machines that extend our senses, telescopes that can see galaxies billions of light years away, detectors that can hear the whispers of colliding black holes, satellites that measure the afterglow of the Big Bang. Each discovery is a reminder that knowledge is not limited by biology. We are inventing new ways of seeing, new ways of listening, new ways of knowing. In this sense, humanity is still at the very beginning. We are infants compared to the age of the stars, newborns compared to the galaxies. And yet, we have already uncovered truths that connect us to the entire cosmos. We have learned that we are made of the same elements as the stars, that the universe is expanding, that most of reality is hidden from view. We have glimpsed the outlines of mysteries far greater than ourselves. Perhaps that is the role of life, not just to survive, but to seek. Not just to endure, but to ask. The universe may be vast and indifferent, but through us it has grown capable of wonder. Through us, it has learned to question its own existence. So as you sit beneath the night sky, remember this: the silence is not emptiness. The darkness is not void. Every star, every shadow, every breath you take is part of a story still being written. We do not know how the story ends, but we know this. We are here, alive, aware, and capable of listening. And maybe that is enough. Maybe that is the point. That in a universe filled with mystery, we have found the courage to wonder. And so the story continues. When we look deeper into the cosmos, beyond galaxies, beyond the faintest signals our telescopes can detect, we eventually confront objects so strange they defy imagination. Black holes. These are not just heavy stars collapsed under their own gravity. They are boundaries in reality itself. At the heart of every large galaxy, including our own, lurks a black hole millions or even billions of times more massive than the Sun. Yet despite their terrifying gravity, black holes are not simply cosmic destroyers. They are perhaps the most mysterious clues we have about the true fabric of the universe. Imagine falling toward one. At first, nothing unusual. The stars still shine, your spaceship still hums. But as you draw closer to the event horizon, the invisible boundary where escape becomes impossible, space itself begins to warp. Light stretches into red, time slows. To a distant observer, you appear to freeze, never quite crossing the horizon. To you, time flows normally. until the moment you cross and the universe outside seems to speed up infinitely. And then comes the singularity. According to Einstein's equations, all matter that falls into a black hole is crushed into a point of infinite density where the known laws of physics break down. This should not happen. Infinity is a sign that our understanding is incomplete. Many physicists believe the singularity hides secrets of quantum gravity, a deeper theory that unites general relativity with quantum mechanics. If we could decode the riddle of black holes, we might finally glimpse the true architecture of reality. Even stranger, black holes may not be entirely black. Stephen Hawking discovered that they can slowly evaporate, radiating energy due to quantum effects at the horizon. Over unimaginable timescales, even the most massive black holes might fade away into nothingness, releasing their trapped secrets. But what happens to the information that falls in? Does it vanish forever, violating the deepest principles of physics? Or does it somehow escape, encoded in delicate patterns of radiation, written on the surface of the horizon like a cosmic hologram? This leads us to a profound idea. Perhaps the entire universe is holographic. Perhaps what we perceive as three-dimensional reality is actually the projection of information stored on a distant surface. If that is true, then everything we see, stars, galaxies, even ourselves, is part of a grand cosmic illusion, an image woven out of invisible data. And this raises another unsettling thought. What if reality itself is not fundamental? What if the universe is a simulation, not in the sense of a video game running on some cosmic computer, but as a way of saying that the laws of physics might be emergent, not ultimate? The patterns we see, particles, forces, even space and time, could be higher level rules, like the way temperature emerges from countless atoms in motion. If so, then beneath our everyday reality lies something deeper, stranger, perhaps forever hidden from us. But even if we are inside a kind of simulation, the mystery does not vanish. It only deepens. Who or what created it? Why does it exist at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? These questions push us beyond science into philosophy, into realms of speculation where certainty fades, but wonder grows. Now consider time itself. We take for granted that time flows forward, from past to present to future. But the laws of physics, at their core, do not require this. They work equally well in reverse. What gives time its arrow, its unstoppable march? The answer seems to lie in entropy, the measure of disorder. The universe began in a state of astonishing order, and ever since, entropy has been increasing. Stars burn their fuel, galaxies drift apart, structures collapse into dust. This is why we remember the past, but not the future. Memory itself is tied to entropy's relentless climb. But here is the puzzle. Why did the universe begin in such a low entropy state? Why start with such exquisite order, only to decay? Some suggest that time itself is not fundamental, that what we call past and future are illusions arising from our limited perspective. In some theories, all of time exists at once, like pages in a book. We move through them sequentially, but the book itself is already written. If that is true, then perhaps free will, choice, even history are far stranger than we imagine. And what of the future of the cosmos? Current evidence suggests the universe is expanding faster and faster, driven by dark energy. If this continues, galaxies will drift apart until trillions of years from now, the night sky will go dark, stars will burn out, black holes will evaporate, even atoms may decay. The universe may end in a great freeze, a silent emptiness stretching forever. But other possibilities exist. The expansion could reverse, leading to a big crunch, a collapse back into fire, or it might cycle endlessly. Bang, expand, fade, collapse, bang again. Some even imagine the universe is a self-reproducing fractal, where new universes bud off from black holes, each with its own laws of physics. If so, then our cosmos is just one leaf in an endless cosmic tree. And the fine-tuning we see, the delicately balanced laws that allow life, might not be unique at all, but simply one of many variations across an infinite multiverse. Yet even if other universes exist, We may never reach them. They lie beyond our cosmic horizon, forever hidden. We can only infer, only dream, but perhaps that is enough. For in the act of imagining, in the act of questioning, we are already expanding the boundaries of our world. Now let us return for a moment to ourselves, to consciousness. No other phenomenon is as intimate and yet as mysterious. We experience the universe from within, as minds that can reflect on their own existence. How does matter give rise to awareness? How do neurons firing in a brain produce thoughts, emotions, the sense of I? Some argue consciousness is an emergent property of complexity. Others suggest it is fundamental, woven into the fabric of reality itself, like space and time. If consciousness is indeed fundamental, then the universe is not merely a stage for life, it is participatory. Our act of observing may shape reality in ways we barely understand. Quantum physics already hints at this, with particles existing in superposition until measured. Could it be that the universe requires observers, that awareness is as essential as matter or energy? This perspective transforms our place in the cosmos. We are not passive spectators of a cold, indifferent universe. We are co-creators of meaning. Through our questions, our science, our art, we bring the universe to life. We are the eyes through which it sees itself, the voice through which it tells its story. And so the question of purpose returns. Why are we here? Perhaps there is no ultimate reason, no cosmic plan, but perhaps the purpose is simply this: to explore, to wonder, to know, to take part in the unfolding mystery, to be astonished again and again by the fact that anything exists at all. Look up at the stars, and you see not only light from the past, but a mirror of yourself. The atoms in your body were forged in ancient supernovae. The thoughts in your mind are patterns of energy that trace back to the birth of the cosmos. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe in one of its infinite forms, reflecting on itself. And that is perhaps the greatest discovery of all, that in this vast, ancient, mysterious cosmos, filled with hidden energies and unseen worlds, there is a spark of awareness, here, now, in you. A spark that can wonder, a spark that can dream. The story is far from over. In truth, it has only just begun.
As we peer deeper into the universe, tracing the faintest glimmers of ancient starlight, we begin to see a pattern emerging, a vast, intricate order woven into every corner of reality. Galaxies spin with perfect precision, stars burn in cycles that last billions of years, and the delicate balance of physical constants allows life to flourish on at least one small planet among countless worlds. The cosmos is immense, mysterious, and overwhelming, yet beneath the chaos and the dark unknown lies a hidden symmetry, a structure that hints at design, at intention. Every black hole, every supernova, every ripple in space-time tells a story of creation, transformation, and sometimes destruction. Yet even in these extremes, the universe preserves a kind of harmony. The same forces that tear matter apart also allow stars to form, planets to coalesce, and the atoms in our bodies to emerge from the remnants of ancient suns. Look closely, and you realize that the universe is not random. It operates according to laws so precisely balanced that the very existence of life is a testament to an extraordinary order. And this order raises questions that stretch beyond physics. Who or what set these cosmic dials with such precision? Who chose the strength of gravity, the mass of the electron, the speed of light? Who orchestrated the forces that allow stars to ignite, planets to form, and life to emerge? For some, the answers lie in chance, in multiverses branching endlessly with every possible law of physics. But for others, the answer lies in intention, in a creator, a source, a mind so vast that it contains the universe itself. The more we understand, the more the fingerprints of such a creator become apparent. Dark matter and dark energy, black holes and quantum fields, even these vast and invisible structures, beyond our perception, obey rules. The laws of nature are not chaotic. They follow patterns, as if the universe were a carefully written manuscript. And in these patterns, we sense a hand guiding the story, a mind that envisioned the cosmos long before the first stars ever flickered to life. Consider the emergence of life. The odds against even a single organism forming spontaneously are staggering. Yet here we are, conscious, aware, able to look up at the stars and ask the very questions that the universe itself provokes. Could it all be mere coincidence? Or is life, the very ability to question, to perceive, to understand, a gift, a reflection of divine intention? When we study the delicate balance that allows our existence, it seems as though creation itself whispers that it was planned, that it was meant to be. And so we begin to see a pattern. Science, far from diminishing the idea of a creator, points to one. Every discovery of hidden energy, every revelation of unseen forces, every glimpse into the multiverse or the edge of time can inspire awe, not only at the grandeur of what exists, but at the intelligence that must lie behind it. The universe is not just a collection of particles and forces. It is a tapestry designed with purpose, a cosmos that sustains and challenges, invites inquiry, and reflects wisdom far beyond our comprehension.
Black holes, for example, are not simply destructive voids. They are laboratories of creation and understanding. Their event horizons may encode the deepest secrets of reality, holding information about the very birth of the universe. Quantum mechanics hints that consciousness itself may be woven into the fabric of existence. Every moment of observation, every spark of awareness may be part of a cosmic dialogue, a participation in the ongoing act of creation. The universe is alive, not in the sense of biological life alone, but in its capacity to reflect, to manifest patterns, to sustain order and complexity over unimaginable scales of time and space. And within this vastness, we find ourselves fragile, fleeting, yet conscious. The atoms in our bodies were forged in the hearts of dying stars. The elements that compose our minds, our thoughts, our dreams, were scattered across space by forces that existed long before Earth, long before humanity. We are literally made of stardust, and yet we are more than mere particles. We are beings capable of wonder, of understanding, capable of seeing the hand of the Creator in the fabric of the universe. This is where science and faith meet. We see the universe in its grandeur, from the vast webs of galaxies to the dance of quantum particles, and we recognize a source, a mind, a will, a God who set the cosmos in motion and established the laws that govern it. The universe did not arise from nothing randomly. It was conceived, formed, and sustained. The stars, the planets, the galaxies, and even the hidden energies that permeate space are all part of a design, an expression of a wisdom infinitely greater than our own. We can marvel at the immensity of space, the elegance of physical laws, the improbable miracle of life, and recognize that it all points beyond itself. Every discovery of dark matter, of quantum vacuum, of accelerating expansion, brings us closer to the realization that the universe is not accidental. It is purposeful, it is intentional, it is the creation of a mind, a soul, a Lord who spoke existence into being. And yet, this realization is not meant to limit us, it is meant to inspire us. To understand creation is to participate in it, to seek knowledge, to probe the mysteries of space and time, to explore the boundaries of life and consciousness. These are acts of reverence, of alignment with the will of the Creator. The more we uncover, the more we glimpse the depth of divine intention, the harmony behind the apparent chaos. So, when you look up at the night sky and feel the vastness pressing in, remember this: the darkness is not empty. It is filled with purpose, with design, with the invisible hand of God shaping all things. Every galaxy, every particle, every heartbeat is part of a grand creation. Every discovery you make, every truth you learn, every question you ask is a reflection of that divine mind, a mirror held up to the Creator's wisdom. And perhaps this is the ultimate wonder, that in a universe so immense, so complex and so mysterious, we are not lost. We are part of it, alive and aware, capable of understanding, capable of marveling, capable of recognizing the hand of God in all things. We are the witnesses to creation. We are the participants in its story. And in our search, in our awe, in our love of truth, we honor the one who brought it all into being. The cosmos stretches forever, but so does the opportunity to know, to wonder, to be part of something greater. And in that, we find meaning, we find purpose, and we glimpse the eternal, the Lord who spoke all existence into being, the God who fashioned stars and black holes, time and space, matter and mind, life and consciousness. He is the beginning and the end, the source of all light in the darkness, the creator of all that was, is, and ever will be. And so we continue to gaze, to study, to explore, not as aimless observers, but as participants in the divine plan, entrusted with the gift of awareness, the privilege of inquiry, and the ability to recognize the majesty of God's creation. For every mystery we uncover is not just a scientific discovery, it is a revelation of the mind behind the cosmos, the wisdom that set the stars in motion, and the love that allows life to flourish within this infinite expanse. And in this truth, there is peace, there is wonder, there is the deepest awe that all we see, all we cannot see, and all we will ever seek comes from Him. The universe is His canvas, and we, in our brief and precious existence, are both observers and co-creators of the story He has begun.
When we look up at the night sky, we are seeing more than points of light. We are witnessing history, the unfolding of time, the echo of creation itself. Every star that glows, every galaxy that spins, every beam of light that travels billions of years to reach our eyes is a reminder of the vastness, the depth, and the incredible intricacy of the universe. Yet, for all its size and complexity, the cosmos is not random. Its beauty, its harmony, its fine-tuned laws all point to a source far beyond what we can measure, far beyond what we can comprehend. We have explored the mysteries of the unseen, dark matter, the invisible scaffolding that holds galaxies together, dark energy, the force driving the universe's expansion faster than light, black holes where space and time collapse, yet may encode secrets about the beginning of everything. We have studied quantum fields, where particles flicker in and out of existence, where empty space is alive with potential. We have glimpsed the multiverse, imagined countless worlds with different laws of physics, and considered the mind-bending possibility that reality itself may be far stranger than we can perceive. And through all of this, one question has persisted: why? Why is the universe as it is? Why does life exist? Why do we exist? Why is there something rather than nothing? Science can guide us to the edge of knowledge, to the boundaries where observation, mathematics, and experiment meet the unknown. Yet at the very edge, where our theories strain and our instruments fail, we find a presence, a purpose, a creator who is beyond the universe, but intimately connected to every detail within it. This creator is not distant or detached. He is the one who spoke the cosmos into being, who set the stars in their courses, who designed the laws that govern matter and energy, time and space. He is God, the Lord of all creation, the one in whom all things hold together. And in the fullness of time, He revealed Himself to us through His Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. Through Him, the universe is not only made, but also known, not only ordered, but also loved, not only vast and incomprehensible, but also personal and relational.
Consider the miracle of life. The atoms in our bodies were forged in ancient stars, scattered across the galaxy by cataclysmic explosions, only to assemble on a small blue planet. The conditions required for our existence are so precise, so delicately balanced, that it seems almost impossible they arose by chance alone. And yet here we are, conscious, aware, capable of questioning, capable of worshipping, capable of marveling. This is not mere coincidence. This is design. This is intentionality. This is love. Through Jesus Christ, we understand that the universe is more than physics, more than energy and matter. It is a creation with purpose, a stage for life and consciousness, a story that is unfolding with meaning. Christ is the Word made flesh, the Logos through whom all things were made, the visible expression of the invisible Creator. Everything we see, everything we cannot see, every secret of the cosmos, every particle and every galaxy exists through Him and for Him. Even the most violent phenomena, supernovae, black holes, gamma ray bursts, are not chaotic accidents. They are part of the grand orchestration of creation, the interplay of forces that God set in motion to bring order, beauty, and eventually life. The cosmos sings a hymn of His glory. From the rotation of galaxies to the delicate structure of DNA, the fingerprints of the Creator are everywhere, and humanity, fragile yet conscious, is invited into this story. We are not separate observers standing apart from the universe. We are participants. We are stewards of creation. We are made in His image, capable of understanding, capable of love, capable of reflecting His wisdom. Our ability to explore, to question, to study the stars, to unravel the laws of physics. All of this is a gift from God, a way for us to know Him through the majesty of His works. The mysteries of dark matter and dark energy remind us that the universe is far greater than we can perceive. Yet the presence of Christ bridges that gap. In Him, the invisible becomes known. In Him, the incomprehensible becomes relational. In Him, we find both the Creator and the purpose of our own lives. He is the reason the universe is intelligible, the reason we can gaze into the night sky and understand, the reason there is hope, meaning, and eternal significance in the midst of infinity. Even time itself, with its arrow stretching from past to future, is under His control. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. All history, from the formation of stars to the rise of life to the development of civilizations, unfolds within His plan. Nothing is outside His providence. The cosmos is not a random accident. It is the canvas upon which the eternal wisdom of God is displayed. And so we see a profound truth. Every discovery we make, every insight we gain, every mystery we explore is ultimately an encounter with the Creator. The laws of physics, the beauty of galaxies, the delicate balance that allows life, the very consciousness that contemplates all of this. These are all reflections of His infinite mind. We are witnesses, participants, and recipients of His glory. The universe stretches endlessly, from the smallest quantum fluctuations to the largest clusters of galaxies. But even in this vastness, Christ is near. He is the sustainer of all things, the one in whom all reality finds purpose and unity. When we explore black holes, when we measure cosmic radiation, when we ponder dark matter and dark energy, we are tracing the work of His hands. And in our hearts, we recognize that this is not merely science, it is worship. In this grand and eternal narrative, we find our place. We are small yet significant, fleeting yet eternal in the perspective of God. We are stardust, yes, but also children of the Most High. We are capable of awe, capable of discovery, capable of love, because we are made in the image of the One who designed the stars, the galaxies, the invisible structures, and the hidden energies. And perhaps the greatest wonder of all is that the same God who orchestrates the heavens, who set galaxies in motion, who holds time and space together, also knows each of us personally. He calls us by name. He invites us into relationship. He offers us eternal life through Jesus Christ. In Him, the mysteries of the cosmos meet the mysteries of the soul. The vastness of space points not only to His power, but also to His love. So, as we look up at the stars, as we contemplate dark matter, dark energy, black holes, and the multiverse, we do not despair. We do not feel lost in the void. We feel wonder, awe, and gratitude. For all of creation, seen and unseen, speaks of Him. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought, every act of seeking truth is a reflection of His glory. The cosmos is his masterpiece. Jesus Christ is the word through whom it all exists. And we, in our consciousness, in our wonder, in our striving to understand, are part of that eternal story. Look up and see him. Look out and marvel at his creation. Look inward and recognize his presence within you. The universe is vast, mysterious, and beautiful, but it is also personal. It is a testament to the God who loves, who creates, who sustains, and who calls us into relationship through his Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. And so the story is complete yet never ending. The universe will continue to unfold. Discoveries will continue to surprise. Mysteries will deepen. But in all of it, we can rest in this truth. God is the author of all, the creator of all, the one in whom all things hold together. And the Lord Jesus Christ is our guide, our light, and the revelation of his eternal wisdom. We stand under the stars, not alone. We are children of the Creator, participants in his magnificent design, witnesses to the greatest story ever told, the story of God, the cosmos, and the eternal love revealed in Jesus Christ.
Look again at the night sky. But this time, do not just see stars. Do not just see galaxies scattered like distant sparks. Look deeper, with your mind wide open, and let yourself imagine all that exists beyond the reach of your eyes and instruments. Beyond the galaxies we can see, beyond the faintest photons that have traveled billions of years to meet us, there lies a vast hidden cosmos, a realm of forces and energies, of dimensions and possibilities, stretching far beyond comprehension. This is the universe in its fullness, the creation of God, infinite and eternal, yet intimately connected to the smallest pulse of life on Earth.
We have already seen the marvels of black holes, of dark matter and dark energy, of quantum fields alive with restless potential. We have glimpsed the multiverse, imagined countless worlds, each obeying different laws of physics, each a testament to the infinite creativity of the Creator. But now, let us contemplate something even more profound: the interconnectedness of all things and the role of consciousness in perceiving and participating in creation. Every thought you have, every choice you make, every act of curiosity is not isolated. You are part of a vast web of existence. The stars are not merely distant points of light. They are connected to you through the same forces that govern atoms, the same laws that allow life to emerge, the same energy that flows through every particle. You are literally woven into the cosmos. And this is no accident. It is the intentional design of the one who formed the universe and breathed life into humanity.
The quantum world shows us that reality is not rigid. Particles exist in multiple states, potentialities unfolding until observed. The act of observation shapes what becomes real. Could it be, then, that consciousness itself is a divine instrument? Could our awareness, our ability to perceive and understand, be a reflection of God's mind, a way for the Creator to know himself through his creation? Science takes us to the edge of reality, but faith allows us to step beyond it, to recognize the hand of God guiding the unfolding of existence. And in this awareness, we see that life is not just biological. Life is the dance of consciousness with the universe, a mirror of divine intelligence. The atoms in your body were formed in ancient stars, yet your mind can contemplate those stars, understand their history, and marvel at their beauty. You are both creature and witness, participant and observer, made in the image of God, endowed with the ability to explore the mysteries he has set before you. Consider the vast cycles of the cosmos. Stars ignite and burn, die and scatter their elements, giving birth to planets, life, and consciousness. Black holes collapse, yet may harbor the seeds of new universes. Galaxies drift apart under the inexorable expansion of space, yet the laws that govern them remain constant, precise, and balanced. Every process, every fluctuation, every moment of cosmic time is governed by an intelligence greater than the sum of all its parts. It is as though the universe itself is a symphony, and God is both the composer and conductor, setting the tempo and harmonies, yet allowing freedom, variation, and improvisation within the grand design.
And then there is the multiverse, a concept that stretches imagination to its limits. Picture countless universes, each with its own physical laws, its own dimensions, its own possibilities. Some may be barren, some chaotic, some unimaginably beautiful. Among them, our universe exists, perfectly balanced, capable of sustaining life. Could all of this be random, perhaps mathematically possible, but spiritually, it testifies to intentionality. The multiverse, vast and infinite, points to the infinite mind behind all things, and that mind is God, the creator of all, the Lord of all that was, is, and ever will be. And now let us reflect on time itself. Time is not merely a measure of change, it is the canvas upon which God paints the story of creation. It flows, yes, but within it exists eternity. The past, present, and future are held within the mind of God, and through Jesus Christ, eternity meets time. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the Word through whom all things were made, and the one who sustains the universe moment by moment. The arrow of time, the cycles of stars, the rise and fall of civilizations, all unfold within his plan, all testify to his wisdom, all echo his glory. And what of humanity in all this grandeur? We are small, yet significant. We are finite, yet capable of understanding infinity. We are mortal, yet invited into eternity. Our curiosity, our capacity to explore, to question, to marvel, is a reflection of the Creator. Every telescope we build, every probe we send into space, every theory we develop, every star we chart, all are acts of communion with God, ways to glimpse His handiwork, ways to participate in His story. Life, consciousness, intelligence. These are not accidents. They are the deliberate expressions of a Creator who values relationship, who desires that His creation be aware of Him, that it recognize His presence, that it marvel at His wisdom. And in Jesus Christ, we see the fullest expression of that revelation. Through Him, God entered creation, experienced existence as we do, and revealed His love, His plan, and His eternal presence. He is not only the Word by which all things were made, but also the bridge between finite and infinite, between the cosmos and the human heart. Imagine standing beneath a sky filled with stars, contemplating galaxies spinning billions of light years away, considering black holes that defy the imagination, pondering the energy and hidden structures invisible to the eye. And then imagine that all of it, the vastness, the laws, the stars, the hidden forces, your own consciousness, is known, held, and loved by the Lord Jesus Christ. The universe is not indifferent, it is intentional. It is not empty, it is alive with His presence. It is not meaningless, it is part of a divine story. And here, at the intersection of awe and understanding, we recognize something even more profound. The universe invites us into it. It calls us to wonder, to explore, to participate. It asks us to see beyond mere survival, beyond fleeting existence, to recognize the eternal significance of each thought, each discovery, each moment of awareness. We are not passive observers of the cosmos. We are co-witnesses, partners in the ongoing revelation of God's glory. Every particle, every star, every galaxy, every quantum fluctuation, every beat of your heart, every breath you take, all of it exists through Him, in Him, and for Him. The universe is His masterpiece, and within it, we find our place, children of God, stewards of creation, conscious participants in a story that stretches from the first spark of creation to eternity itself. And so we reach the ultimate truth. The cosmos, vast and mysterious, beautiful and intricate, points inevitably to the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the Word through whom all things were made, the life that sustains the universe, the light that shines into the darkness, the presence that gives meaning to all that exists. Through him, the stars sing, the galaxies dance, and the hidden energies of the universe unfold with purpose. Through him, we are known, loved, and invited into the eternal story. Look up at the night sky and see the glory of God. Listen to the whispers of creation and hear the voice of Christ. Feel the energy of life and recognize the breath of the Creator. We are part of something far greater than ourselves. We are witnesses to His majesty. We are participants in His plan, and we are called to marvel, to explore, and to love, knowing that every discovery, every insight, every moment of consciousness is a reflection of the eternal God who holds all things together. And so the story of the universe is not only the story of stars and galaxies, of energy and matter, of life and consciousness, it is the story of God, the Lord Jesus Christ, the Creator, Sustainer, and Redeemer. It is the story of purpose, of meaning, of love woven into the very fabric of reality. And it is the story in which we are invited to take part, not as spectators, but as children, as witnesses, as participants in the eternal unfolding of creation. And so, look up, breathe deeply, wonder endlessly, and remember, the universe is vast, eternity is endless, mysteries abound, and yet every secret, every star, every force, every atom, every heartbeat is known and loved by the Lord Jesus Christ, the author of all, the Savior of all, and the light that guides us through the infinite.